Hello and welcome back to the DayLuna Human Design Podcast with your hosts Dana and Shayna. We are doing a pep talk for generators and you all need it. Like, honestly, this might be I feel like all of our pep talks are secretly also a roast and a pep talk, but like
at the same time.
Yeah, filled with so much love because generators, like, hear me now. You are the ones that are going to change the world. Like, you are the ones that are going to change the new paradigm. There's so many more of you than any other type. And this is, man gens too are technically generators, but they're going to have their own separate pep talk. Don't worry. But if you are man gen, you still should listen to this episode because a lot of it does apply to you. But literally, because there's so many of you and because your energy is infectious and spills out of you, enveloping,
we all get colored out in your energy.
When you are in alignment, it literally is the biggest gift to everyone else around you. And if you're not, then it's not. And so it does feel like a kind of a big responsibility because it is a big responsibility. And I think that generators kind of write themselves off, or there can be this wound around like, oh, well, I'm the most like common type. Like, am I not special? And literally, you're the most special because you being in alignment and focusing on what is right for you is what's going to change the world. It is what's going to create more expansion, more love, more opportunity, more things that honor everybody's individual nature and gifts and purpose. So you have the power. You just got to fucking use it and liberate yourself to be able to actually follow it and trust it and take the action that your body is telling you to take.
Yeah, I love thinking about how generators are like at the center of the wheel, I want to say. Because if you think about all of the types in human design being like pieces of a puzzle, there's this chain or this order, manifestors initiate new ideas and they innovate and start off new energy. And then generators and manifesting generators take that energy and they create, they build based on their responses. And then projectors tweak the process and then reflectors gauge and assess how it's all going overall. But like, if you look at that instead of in a linear way as more circular or spherical, like generators are in the middle. They are the ones that carry the life force that all of the other types are sort of initiating or trying to impact or bouncing off of or correcting. And so your life force energy is literally the most sacred energy of life. It is aliveness, and the other people around you who are not generators are reliant on the quality and the health of your sacral energy, putting out that life force. So it really is true that you are like this energy medicine healer. And it's great because in order to give out that medicine in the highest expression, your job is to follow what you love and follow what lights you up. And like, you heal other people by doing what you really want to do, by being brave and following bliss and joy and energy flow. And it's like the ultimate life hack. But it is so interesting, doing a pep talk for generators, like in the beginning, Shayna's like, because you guys need it. I definitely feel like generators just don't get enough special love in the human design space. And one of my close friends is a generator. She's an emotional generator, but when she heard the term pure generator, she was so excited because she was previously saying, oh, I'm just a generator. Like, I'm not a manifesting generator. I'm just a generator. And then when she found out that the word pure generator, she would be like, oh, I can say I'm a pure generator. Like, that feels so good. But then she found out she's an emotional generator. And so she's technically not a pure generator because that would only be a sacral generator. So she even got that taken away from her. And I'm like, we need a new, really sparkly phrase for people who are generators, not manifesting generators, but generators, whether they're sacral or emotional, that matches their sparkle. Like, we need a new phrase. We need to come up with, something in that realm, because it's really true that, I feel like I love every single type for different reasons. And that's a core theme in human design, is that like nothing is better or worse. Everything is just different. So I love being around manifestors, but it is a completely different vibe than being around a generator. And generators, I want to say, are like my favorite because I just feel so cozy and lit up and like nurtured and included. And there's just this naturalness, this warmth, this like earthy joy for life that comes when I'm around generators. But of course, it's like, how could you compare any of the types? They're all just really different frequencies. But I just wanted to start off by saying that when I was first learning how to guess someone's human design type, generators was actually the first one that I could always nail. Like I just knew right away. I feel like my heart opens and softens and I feel included and like hugged, which as a projector, I feel excluded quite a lot of the time. And so from a generator, that feeling of inclusivity and their aura washing over me and spreading, like generously spreading whatever their energy is, I could sense that first out of any of the types because it felt so powerful to me. So I wanted to start by saying that, generators, you are powerful. You are felt. Your energy is a gift. And in this pep talk, we are going to dive into all of the ways that you can celebrate yourself, that you can honor yourself and your powerful life force energy, all of the things to really keep in mind as you navigate your day, living as this incredible type that your soul chose to come here and be.
Yeah. And as we navigate such big changes and the overwhelm of everything that's happening right now in the world, like you finding your alignment and honoring your alignment is the most important work to be doing. And so I think that it's really good to reframe, like, you are powerful as a generator. You are so powerful. And I think that it can be really easy to give your power away as a generator because of our conditioning. And I just see it so often, right? Like, I feel like it's pretty rare. Well, like a little bit more rare, I want to say, to see a generator fully in their sparkly, juicy alignment. I think that it's way more common to see generators who are just like putting their head down, not like asking questions or looking around or trying to fight for what feels best to them and their body, because people pleasing is so celebrated in our culture. And for generators, that is like the biggest pitfall, is people pleasing and finding your value in that and not really actually listening to your body and your alignment. So like if you could just every single day ask yourself, like, what does my body feel with this thing in front of me, as much as possible, like that is the way out of that. And it's easier said than done, of course, right? Because if you're working a job that you hate, or if you're, a parent and there's just so many things that you have to do that you just can't like say no to, or if there's whatever circumstances that are keeping you, beholden to something that isn't in alignment for you anymore, it's easy to say like, just listen to your body and it'll guide you to a different thing. But that really is the way forward. So what we like to say is carve out time, dedicated time that is just for listening to your body. Maybe that's an hour. Maybe that's a whole day once a week. Maybe that's a whole week once a month. Like whatever it is in your schedule, like literally carve out time that it's like, I'm literally listening to my body. That's it. That's all I'm doing. And I'm going to move my body around in front of my books, in front of my car, in front of, my yard. I'm going to step outside. I'm going to open my fridge, like literally move your body in front of new stimulus, and then feel, do I have energy in my body or not? And then listen to that. And if you're not feeling anything, that's a no for now. And I think that feels like, is that too simple? Or like, am I going to get that signal? Or is that actually enough? Like, how is me, stretching outside because my body had energy to do so going to change the world? And it's literally because when you're in alignment, you are magnetic. You attract the right people. You feed those people with your juicy magnetic energy, and it brings more life force, brings more life into your life, brings more opportunity. It brings the right people. And so it is this kind of trust fall into your own arms, into really trusting that your body knows more than your mind ever could. And I think that's why, a lot of people, because we've been so disconnected from our bodies, like historically, and we've had a lot of authority and hierarchies, like outer authorities, trying to be our authority and tell us what's right, and to not listen to our bodies and to not trust ourselves, whether that's with our doctors or our government or our households even. Like, there's so much conditioning that pulls us away from listening to our bodies and feeling like we can't trust our body. And because there's so many generators, I think that's why we have that term, like wearing the hat. We talk about it in the projector pep talk. I think that's why so many people are putting their head down and choosing to be unconscious and choosing to be the stewards of their own life, and really are just, going with the flow and doing what they're told, and not questioning things, and also knowing that maybe they're unhappy, or knowing that maybe they're exhausted and burnt out and drained, but that's just what life is. I did what I was told, and that's what I'm going to do, and that's what everyone in my family's done. And it all stems from this place of abandoning your body. And so I really just want all the generators out there that are listening to this to know that, like, the power is yours to reclaim. Like, it's yours to reclaim, and it happens in all the small moments. You don't need like some big thing to happen for you to listen to your body. Like, all of the power and resources that you need are literally right here in front of you, with whatever is in front of you right now, whether that's your phone, whether that's your computer, whether that's your food or your dishes, or literally what is in front of you right now as you're listening to this. In this moment, your body signals, that is it. That is the power. Like, literally, you have it right there. And the more that you tune in, the more that you listen, the more magnetic you become, the more opportunities come in, the more life you give out to the world around you. So I just really am like, you don't need some miracle to happen or some huge shift in your life to change to access your power. You can access it at any moment, at any time.
This morning,
right
doing
now.
the dishes. Yeah. And I feel like I have so many like reflections on the things that you shared. Like, I feel like with generators, there's like kind of 3 pitfalls that we see a lot. One is that you feel like listening to your body is too simple or too basic, that it can't possibly make a change or matter that much. And the truth is, when you actually start doing it, it changes your life experience, and you realize it's not simple at all. It is the most enlivening, exciting, surprising journey. Like Colleen, who's on our DayLuna team, she works at our retreats on our team there. So if you've been to one of our retreats, you've gotten to meet her. She's a generator, and I loved hearing, and she also does human design readings. She's one of our recommended readers on our website. But I love hearing her talk about her journey of actually starting to listen to her sacral, because she said, it is such a wild ride. Like, am I going to do the dishes right now? Or am I going to say, fuck that, and I'm going to go outside and find a yoga class spontaneously? And it's like these little things in her daily life that started to feel really exciting and surprising. And it started just changing up the pattern of her day in such a profound way. And things started moving so quickly for her. She started meeting new people and having new experiences. And I just love that story because one of the pitfalls is it feels too simple. It feels too natural to feel like it's going to change your life, but it really does. And then also with the generator aura being so warm, welcoming, cozy, inviting, your energy feels like a warm hug. There is this natural feeling that people expect you to always nurture them and care for them, right? So that's really where the people-pleasing pitfall comes in. It's an auric issue. People feel cozy, they feel warm, they can trust you, they feel comfortable challenging you. When you're like, I don't want to do that, they feel comfortable in your aura to be like, well, I want you to. And so so knowing that, I feel like, is really empowering, because it's like, why is this happening to me? Is it a me thing? Like, it's not the person who loves you. It's not a you thing. It's an aura mechanic thing. And when you realize that, you can actually change that. And then lastly, what you were saying, Shayna, about like, the world really taking advantage of generators' energy and creating all of these rules. Like we talk about the Industrial Revolution, generators are the most powerful resource in the Industrial Revolution, and the powers that be knew that, and they created all these rules to try to take away your agency. And the truth is, generators are here to work when they want to work, when they have energy to work, not on someone else's schedule. So generators are a lot more rebellious in nature than you would think when you read about it. But one of the pitfalls for a generator is that generators really enjoy being thorough. And when they're not listening to their body, they can feel like, somebody tell me what's next, because what's next brings me anxiety, because I have to allow my body to move around until I find something in the present moment, and my body responds to it, and that tells me what's next. So with generators being both thorough and in their mind, and they're not self-concerned about what's next, they end up finding some false comfort in rules and in structures that take away their agency. So when you understand that, I feel like that's also one of the things that liberates you to change it. So I want to encourage every generator here to really be putting on their rebellious, like, fuck that, I'm not doing it if I don't want to energy, because that's more aligned with your true nature.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that for all of the types, when you're out of alignment, you're kind of cock blocking everyone else around you from their own alignment. Yeah. Right.
So true.
And like, you're creating misalignment with all of the people that are around you and things that are around you when you're out of alignment. But for generators, I think it's the most helpful for them to really hear, like, when you're out of alignment, you're like taking away opportunities of alignment from everyone else around you. And that's important to know as a generator, because the temptation to people please is so prevalent, that if you can really wrap your mind around like, oh, me people pleasing is actually a disservice to the person that I'm pleasing. It's actually harmful to their alignment. It's cock blocking them or stopping them from finding alignment or meeting that right person because I was there instead doing the thing. And so just really like reframing that for yourself to know like, okay, I'm doing this for other people too. It's not just about me, because for the other types, I think that that's still true, but it really is like important for generators to understand and know, because you are meant to be that cozy hug energy. You are meant to be enveloping and inviting and pulling people in, but you're also meant to be giving out alignment and juicy life force energy. So when we're talking about, the world right now, and everything that's changing and the new paradigm that's coming up right now, obviously we all know the world feels chaotic. There's this pressure to care about everything. And there's so much that we know just from Instagram or social media or the news, or our capability to have stimulus in front of us all the time. Like, talk about an exhausted sacral's nightmare is literally like things to respond to, like, but 500 things to respond to within 10 minutes, right? Like,
I need one thing to respond to.
Scrolling on Instagram, it's like they just constantly pop up. And there can feel this enormous pressure to care about everything and this constant demand on your energy. And there's all these opinions about what you should be doing. And then there can be that people pleasing wanting to come in. And it's so important to know that as a generator, you are here to respond. So Instagram can be a great place for you to practice your responding and like, do you actually have energy in your body or not? But you're not meant to chase everything, right? All of the things that you're coming in, if you're just mindlessly or like unconsciously scrolling on Instagram, you're not actually listening to your sacral. It can feel overwhelming, like, well, I should do this. I should focus on that. I should focus on this. And even anything within the news right now, or anything that just feels overwhelming in your life right now, finances or relationships or whatever it is, if you're doing it from a place of like not actually listening to your body, it's going to feel overwhelming. But if you can really tune into like, okay, I have this opportunity to see if my body has energy here or not, and and just paying attention to that. Like Dana said, it becomes this exciting, surprising, like, oh, thing. So kind of knowing that like you were never meant to respond to everything. You're meant to respond to the things that light you up. So paying attention to those things that light you up. Now, when we're talking about chaos and the world being overwhelming, generators often feel like they have to overcommit or say yes to things that they don't actually want or try to fix everything. And that can really drain your energy. So we see a lot of generators that get stuck in burnout and that feel like when they hear that they're a generator, like, but I don't have that much energy. I'm so burnt out. I'm so tired. Like I'm just wrecked energetically. And that's because if you are doing something that your body's not into, you're not creating that life force energy. And if you do that over years, you're going to need some time. We like to call it the detox period, where you need to really detox from all of the shoulds and slowly get your energy back and start to really be ruthless with listening to your body and responding with what's lighting you up, what you have energy for, and you'll start to get your sparkle back. And then you're meant to pour that energy into those things that really light you up, because just because you can work hard as a generator doesn't mean that you should. And that is like, so I think when we're talking about how generators are so powerful, like you can do anything, but what is it that you want to do? So if you're feeling stuck as a generator and you're like, I don't know how I'm going to change this, or like, if I do change this, what's going to happen? It's like, you are so incredibly capable as a generator. So like, that shouldn't be your fear. Like, what if nothing new comes that I do feel excited around? That can be a big fear. And knowing like, okay, I have all of the resources that I need to build or create or dedicate or devote or commit my energy to something. It just needs to be in alignment for me for it to be sustainable and renewable and juicy, because your energy is renewable only when it's aligned. So finding that alignment is really the goal.
And I just want to say, for every generator listening and anyone who loves you, tell people that your 2 red flags for yourself are when you catch yourself saying, I feel bad, red flag, or I feel like I should, red flag. Like, tell your friends, tell your partner, tell anyone in your life to hold you accountable on that. Because my sister's a generator, and the amount of times I hear her say, well, I just really feel like I should, or I just feel bad, I literally will like put my hand up and be like, girl, red flag. I'm just pointing it out to you that you said those 2 words. And she's like, you're right. And you know, with this conversation about renewable energy, but only if it's aligned for you, and just because you can do something, you shouldn't do something. With my sister, all the time I feel her talking about something that she's doing. Like, she's making a really important work decision right now about whether she wants to continue working in our family's business or if she wants to sell the business. And it's been a huge loaded decision that has like history behind it, lineage behind it. There's so much pressure about what she thinks she should do. And she says all the time, I hear her say like, I just want to prove that I can do it. And I'm like, yeah, but do you want to? Do you feel lit up by it? Do you feel like this is something that in the morning you wake up and your body is just like, everything is, the cells in your body are jumping for joy to get started? And she's like, no, but I still feel like I should prove that I can do it. And I just think that's a really important thing for generators to hear, is like, we know you can do it, but we need you to do something that you want to do, that you're enlivened by, that you're excited by, because that ultimately is the contribution that you give the rest of the world. And the things that you create when you're coming from that space of a true energy response, those things are going to be soulful as hell. They are going to be the things that change the world, whether you're starting it or working towards it or contributing towards something that already exists. It's just so important. So I just wanted to say, keep those 2 red flags in mind. If you hear yourself say, I feel bad, red flag. You're going to energetically cock block someone if you show up to that lunch when you don't want to because you feel bad. And when you hear yourself saying like, I just feel like I should, red flag, that is coming from your expectations and people pleasing and potentially like a fear of not knowing what's next. And so you follow the rules instead, right? Those are the red flags that are here to serve you. And the cool thing about following your strategy and authority is you naturally create boundaries. And for generators, boundaries are so important because you have capable energy to totally burn yourself out in the name of helping other people. And so it's almost like, easy for you to forego your own desires and to lose sight of your boundaries. And by responding and saying, no, I'm not into this thing, you actually are creating natural boundaries for yourself. So it might feel like we're sharing a lot of things that are like homework for you to apply, but ultimately they all serve you. They are here to protect you and your energy and to optimize your satisfaction in life and fulfillment in life.
Yeah. And I think that it's simple to be like, okay, if I serve myself, I serve the world. Like, that mantra is your truth. It's your anchor. It's all you need to focus on. And that can be scary, and it can take a learning curve to get into. It's a muscle to kind of stretch, but all of the types have different muscles that they have to stretch that don't feel natural or don't feel supported by the world in general. And this is yours. Enlightened selfishness. Like, it is so important for you to really listen to your body. And a lot of times your body is going to feel lit up by helping other people. And that's great. It just has to be authentic and true that your body is lit up. So when we're talking about aligned work in the new paradigm, the old paradigms definitely rewarded like hustle, grind, being busy, constantly producing. And the new paradigm is going to reward aliveness and creativity and passion and authentic contribution. And I think just hearing that feels exciting, right? Like, oh, okay, I can shift into this exciting, creative, passionate, alive life force, right? Place versus that, like, I need to just keep going, be busy, produce, provide, struggle energy. And I think a lot of times dedication has come through survival. And like, I'm dedicating myself to providing for my family or to making money because we need to eat or to, whatever it is, out of this survival lack place. And we're really trying to shift to a place of thriving and being an individual and honoring our truth and having that connection where we're all supported and seeing one another equally. And that can only get there through creativity, but authentic contribution with that creativity, right? Like, building the new things in the new paradigm are going to take generators that are lit up and doing what they love. The new paradigm is not going to be built by exhausted generators. It's not. It's literally, if we're going to have any sort of rising out of all of this crumbling that's happening, it's going to be getting built up. That rising is getting built up by lit up generators, not exhausted ones. So if you're listening to this and you're like, I'm an exhausted generator, like, rewind, listen to this whole fucking thing again. Like, this is your pep talk. Like, you have the power. Listen to your body. And I think it gets really simplified if you can really just like drop into, like, it's not mental. It's literally that That's it. Like, and so it might not come out of your voice. You'll just feel it in your body. And we like to say it's either energy or it's dragging through the mud or it's nothing in your body. And you can really, I think it's so easy to feel when you're dragging through the mud, but it's like we kind of brush it off when it's like energy because we're either already stepping in and doing it, or we're just like, that's how we're supposed to feel, is energy all day. And so it's not like something that we really notice. And so we get stuck in this place of always dragging through the mud. Okay, I'm just going to do it anyways because nobody likes to do everything, so I have to do it. And then we end up building this world around us that is all fucking mud, like literally. And it's because we're we're noticing that feeling, we're doing it anyways, and we're committing to building this like muddy ass castle, and it's just like you're drowning in it after that. And so knowing like, okay, I'm going to start noticing the energy and paying more attention to that and leaning into that more, you're going to start building this castle that's vibrating and, you know, bright and sparkly and just so magnetic versus like only focusing on the mud. So hopefully that analogy resonates, because I don't know where the fuck that mud castle versus the sparkle castle came from. It definitely came from all these fairy books that I'm reading, but I feel like it's relevant.
Themed.
Yeah,
and sword
castle themed.
And fairy fae. Yeah, I was gonna say that with generators and really like making that change to listening to your sacral responses, it's just so interesting because we talk a lot about how for manifestors, your strategy of informing is foreign. It feels like a practice. It feels like the last thing on planet Earth you want to do. Now for projectors, your strategy of waiting for the invitation, it can feel natural, but it also can feel really hard, like a homework assignment you have to be constantly checking yourself to do. And depending on a lot of other parts of your energy, depending on your conditioning, it doesn't always feel natural to wait for the invitation as a projector at first. And for a reflector to slow down and to wait a lunar cycle really doesn't feel natural, just because our conditioning is so strong against the opposite. So for generators, listening to your response, you're kind of different than all of the other types in that response is so natural. It's happening all the time. And when I'm with generators that don't know they're generators, you know, they don't know anything about human design, they don't know anything about living in a state of response, I can see their face and their being light the fuck up when they are talking about something that they're into. And I can see the opposite, this dull mud castle sheen go over their face when they're talking about something that they're just not into. And for me as an outsider, especially as a projector, it is so clear to see a generator when they are just on. It's literally like a light switch turns on, and you see it in their energy, but also in their face and in their voice, like everything. And then you'll see the light switch turn off when you go to a new topic. And so my point in saying all of this is that it's so natural for you generators to live in this state of response that you don't even realize you're doing it. And it takes like work for you to cultivate your relationship to honoring your sacral responses. And it can feel like, well, when am I going to get a really good sacral response? But the truth is you're getting them all the time. So here's another thing that I just wanted to say, to tell your friends and family, your partner, your coworkers, hey, when I seem super lit up by something and my face lights up, can you just tell me? Can you reflect that back to me? Or can you ask me yes or no questions, you know, the classic thing in human design, so that I can really get a response and then help me reflect back. And as a generator, your energy is so warm and inclusive that people will feel excited to help you listen to your sacral responses. And that's really important to know, because I feel like generators are such nourishing caregivers to other people kind of on this energetic realm. And it can feel like if I ask people to help me reflect on my own sacral excitement, that I'm going to be selfish, or the people aren't going to be into that, or no one's going to want to take the time for me. But when you are lit up as a generator, it's such a gift to every single other person that if you tell people, hey, I'm really trying to focus on this, can you just reflect back to me when I seem excited about something? They will be excited to do that too. I guarantee you. So it's a really great thing that you can literally ask your coworker, your best friend, your partner, even if you're just on the phone, they can't see your face.
And I think it's helpful to think back or journal or look back on like times in your life where you just felt so excited about something. And it wasn't coming from a place of like, oh, I'm excited because this is really going to make my daughter happy, or this is really going to make my partner happy, or my friends, or my whatever, like an excited, like I'm just have this thrill of excitement through me. Maybe it was for a trip, maybe it was for an event, maybe it was for a book or a show or like a meal, right? Just really, if you can kind of pinpoint some times where you just felt that ecstatic excitement, that is gold for you. And so just seeing it, just loving that energy up, recognizing it within yourself, I think kind of just like allows your energy to be this little cheerleader for you moving forward, and knowing like, okay, that is the energy that I am meant to be surrounded by and giving out all the time. It doesn't mean that you have to be like, you know, that excited doing cartwheel vibes in everybody's life around you, and all the time, all day, every day. It's just knowing that that energy is your guidance. It's that guiding force in your life, and it's just so pure. It's coming from your body.
And I wanted to say, I have a few things that I want to say, make sure we say before we end this pep talk that are just on my heart. And one of them is that the most aligned, juicy, sparkly generators I know that do the coolest shit with their lives take rot days, just like you hear a projector taking. So I wanted to say that because we've talked so much about how this aliveness and the sacral response and blah, blah, blah. As a generator, sometimes your body is going to get a positive response towards laying on your couch and binging a show. And when that happens, it's your job to listen to your body and to not be like, I'm a generator, I should be out going to a coffee shop and responding to the people around me and like whatever. You shouldn't be doing anything. You should be doing what your sacral is responding to.
You shouldn't, but you should.
You shouldn't be doing anything.
You should be listening to your sacral.
The only should that applies to generators is sacral should.
Yeah.
No
and it's
human
like,
shoulds.
just for
no
your
societal
correctness.
shoulds. Yeah, just sacral. Your sacral is the only person who can should you as a generator.
The truth. I mean, and that's what I really want to say to generators is take action on what your sacral tells you. If it tells you to lay on the couch, go lay on the couch. And if you can't because of work or because of, you know, your children or whatever, like see that that's important and carve out time or delegate or get childcare or talk about that with your partner or your family. Do it for 2 minutes.
Maybe you don't have all day like your sacral wants, but maybe you have 2 minutes.
Yeah. And there's just so many ways to get creative with it. And I know that it sounds impossible, but it is possible. Like there's so many creative ways, even through expressing, like I'm noticing that my body is wanting this more and more and I'm not able to do it. Like what are the solutions? And just you sharing that or you following something else that's lighting you up, it's going to bring in other opportunities, whether that's someone you meet or a neighbor that wants to help out or a coworker that wants to take over this thing so you have an extra hour or whatever it is. Your body is going to be guiding you towards alignment the more that you can listen and actually take action, because I see that so much with generators that feel their sacral response and then take zero action. Yeah. And they
just let it pass. They feel the sacral response, they let it go, and then it's not there anymore. And an hour later, they're like, I never get any sacral responses. And it's like, well, you do, you just haven't followed through on them.
And their sacral response gets quieter and quieter, and then they get more and more disconnected from their body, and then it becomes confusing, and then it becomes this victim story of like, this is just how life is, this is just how things are, and I don't like it. And then you're in a whole mud castle and the whole thing just feels hard. Right? So it has to come from taking action. And I think that that's a big place where generators can get stuck, is feeling like they just have to do but not actually take action towards the things that their body's lit up by. And even feeling what they're lit up by, but then being like, oh, I'll do it later. I'll do it after the dishes, or I'll do it, you know, on the weekend. And then the weekend comes, but now you're just too exhausted because you never once listened to your body this week. And now you don't even want to do that thing. You don't have energy. It's not the right time because your body is connected to timing. So the more that you can listen to it in the moment, the better. So this is not about being hard on yourself at all. It's about encouraging you to listen more and to take action more, because it is worth it and it is what the world needs. It's what your soul needs. It's a big part of the lessons that you came here to navigate and overcome and thrive within. So you tell us, you know, in a year after doing this or however long, what works for you and what came out of it and how it felt for you. Like you tell us the ways that you can navigate these roadblocks or these things that feel impossible as a generator. Like you chose this time right now when human design is like just really coming in and the paradigm is just now shifting. Like, you chose to be here in this time to help us figure out how to fucking be authentic and how to actually build a life that is lit up. And that's coming from a place of being our own authority versus coming from a place of somebody else telling us what to do. And so we just do it. Like, this is the time that we chose. And we're all here to navigate and figure out how we actually make that happen. And we each have our different roles and our different pitfalls and different challenges, like Dana was saying. And, you know, as projectors or whatever your type is, but as a generator, like, you're going to be navigating this and seeing what works, what doesn't, trusting yourself even more, falling more into that trust. And you're going to be showing the future generations what you're learning right now and how they can then use that information and thrive from it. So the deconditioning that you're doing is so worth it. And if you're just now starting out or you haven't fully committed to taking action, this is your signpost. It's time. And it can be something as small as what you're choosing to drink in the morning, or something as big as leaving your career and starting a whole new one, or moving into a different country. Like, it can be tiny, it can be huge. Your sacral is your guide. And obviously your authority if you have emotional authority. But
if you have sacral authority.
Well, no, I meant it's your sacral is your guide and your authority is your guide. If you have emotional authority, then you kind of have a little bit more complex flair within this generator world.
Let's just say right now, because this is one of the questions we get the most, like, especially if you're new to human design, but even if you're not new, this can be confusing. So all generators have a defined sacral, and that tells us that your sacral is guiding you with small yes or no decisions all day long with little things continuously. Do I want to answer this email? Yes or no. That's dependent on the energy that you feel in your body, right? Do I want to eat this breakfast? Yes or no. So all day long, you're making yes or no decisions with your sacral. And if you have sacral authority as a generator, then that same process is used for important big decisions, like, do I want to marry this person or not? Now, if you have emotional authority as a generator, you still have this sacral helping you make small yes or no decisions all day long. And that is your go-to that you're always listening to. You're always making these small decisions spontaneously in the moment by listening to your response and energy. Now, if a big thing comes, then you need to wait and give yourself time if you have emotional authority. So you switch gears. You have like two decision-making things, one for small day-to-day, moment-to-moment decisions, and then one for important life decisions. That's where you would use your emotional authority. So I just wanted to clear that up because I feel like a lot of generators, even if they know that, it can be like confusing. Where do I fall into that? And I did want to say, I wanted to leave you generators with my favorite thing about you that I am probably the most jealous of and also in admiration of and adoration of is your magnetism. Now, a generator's magnetism is truly a mystical force in this life. And it is something as a projector I do not have. And when I see a generator who is following their sacral and they are doing things that they're lit up by, and they're saying no to things and creating really good boundaries, they have this magnetism. So we talk about generators being sparkly, right? And their energy being contagious and their energy being inspiring when they're lit up by things. They also, part of that sparkle is literally magnetism that draws people in. It draws experiences in. It draws the perfect solution in. It draws the perfect opportunity. And part of that magnetism that happens for a generator coming from the sacral is, you know, the sacral center. We have a client that we love, and she calls it the sacred center because it is truly this sacred life force energy of creation, like mystical, magical creation, being a co-creator on planet Earth. So there's this strong mystical magnetism that pulls things to you in such a synchronistic, divine timing way, right? Synchronicity and divine timing are literally connected to being a generator. Everyone can experience those two things from following their strategy and authority, but as a generator, it's sort of like one of the main themes that you get to experience when you're living in your magic. And so this magnetism that you have it is like the most powerful force that people, it's like a force field around you. And when you're in it and your magnetism is lit up, it is so special and so powerful. And the generators that I know that are really lit up and they're in this magnetism, it's like the amazing synchronistic stories of like, they need to move out of their house and find this new house. And so they're really stressed, but instead they remember to go back to their sacral and they start like doing the things they love. And they say no to the house that they just did, their sacral just was not into, even though it didn't make sense on paper. And then all of a sudden their magnetism gets activated. And it is literally like they're in this magical joy, like rainbow vortex that just boom, brings them the most perfect opportunity. And it falls into their lap. And so when I see that, I'm like, that must be nice, because I do not have that same magnetism in that same way, right? For me, I move through the world in a different way, and I have my own magic as a projector. But as a generator, that magical vortex, like I always say that Louise Hay, if you've ever listened to her work, and being in the vortex of joy and bliss and doing the things that you want to do in that moment, it really truly activates this like force field of sparkly synchronistic magnetism around you, and things will come to you. And when I see that in a generator, it's just so special, and it does reinvigorate my joy and excitement for life. It really does. And so as a generator, I just want you to know that that is one of the most special things that you have access to. And it might feel sometimes hard to trust that. And it might feel like impossible to say no to work opportunities or home opportunities or wage, like things that are more like specific on the physical material plane. Sometimes it might feel like, because of the pressures of this capitalistic society, that you don't have the opportunity to say no to things, but it is your job to say no when your sacral's not into this job or this structure anymore, because then you open up this magnetism to bring you the next thing that is going to be so beautifully right for you. It will come to you. It will fall into your lap. It will be drawn to you. The forces of the universe will reward you with this through this magnetism for saying no to something that's not quite right or that's mediocre. And that can feel like the biggest trust fall, but it's also your mystical, magical power as a generator. And it is so special that you have that. And so I really just wanted to leave all the generators with that, with knowing that you are so blessed to have this form of magnetism that can be activated. And when you activate that magnetism by saying no to things that you don't actually want to do, it feels really good to you. It can feel scary to your mind, but it feels amazing to your body to say no to shit that you don't want to do, and to say yes to things that bring you joy, even if they're small. Feels so good for you. It activates your magnetism. It spills out your radiating, sparkling life force, contagious energy to other people. It is honestly the ultimate win-win. It's the ultimate symbiosis. And I just want to encourage you to see yourself when you're doing things that you love, with this like vortex of rainbow sparkly energy that's supporting you and bringing the perfect thing to you. It's not actually up to you to find that next opportunity or to rush into something or to seek or to worry. You have this magical power, and it's really, really special, and the world needs you to use it. So I just wanted to paint that picture and share my admiration of your vortex generators when you're in it. It's so special to witness. And I hope that after this podcast, you can go practice creating that rainbow vortex around you by just genuinely listening to, what does my body want? And it might be so surprising, or it might be so simple and like salt of the earth. Like you might just want to eat some delicious food. That is the thing that activates this magnetic force around you. So just listening and seeing if you can feel that, and paying attention to what gets brought to you, drawn to you with this magical force that you have.
Yes, we love you, generators. Give yourself a hug. Go eat something delicious. And yeah, hopefully this was the pep talk you needed. Per usual, you know where you can find all our things, daylunalife.com, at dayluna on Instagram, and let us know what your sacral's being lit up by right now. Like, I'd just love to hear all of the different things that are like authentic creative energy. I feel like I want to know all of them. So maybe on our Instagram post, like comment what they are. We'll put a prompt there or something, because I'm just like dying to know. Or comment if you're listening on Spotify, you can leave a comment, because it's just so exciting to me when I think about generators being in their authenticity and building these new things in the new paradigm. It gives me hope for the future. The more that generators awaken to their own power and start using it. Thank you for tuning in with us today. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to follow along and learn more about human design.